All right, guys, that's a good start. Start working your way up this way, please. We'll find a seat. All right, guys, work your way outside. Go.
You're tripping, bro?
All right, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Keystone, our weekly Thursday evening auction. My name is Ron. If we have any issues during the sale, let us know. And we'll get you back on track. Hey. Hopefully you're here. All right, cars are number keys. They don't charge for those. We have to make a key in order to start as part of the bidding process. So that will be added on to the purchase price. Okay. All right. Don't forget about the 10% parking tax, and don't forget about the 3% buyer premium. Okay. All right. We do sell everything that says this condition. There are no guarantees, warranties of any kind, either expressed or implied, as to the make, come on, the caller. nor anything else. So what you see is what you get. You're the expert. You look at it, you tell me what it's worth, and it's what the fuck money on it. Okay. And it becomes the same as last week, guys. If you want to get your car out tonight, that's kind of a 50-50 shot.
Good luck.
So be patient. If you can't get your car tonight, you have until closing tomorrow to get your vehicle out of here to avoid that storage charge, okay? Yeah, what happened here now? We're losing our wiring company on more. You're a couple feet taller, you got hangers out there, huh?
Hey, relax. Just calm it down.
Okay. All right, what else we do? We have no 10-day holds, I don't think, on this list here today, so everything will go out the door tonight, okay? Once we say sold the vehicle, we do need you to stand up, come up to the window here where you registered, and complete the transaction, all right? Okay. We do take cash. For payment goes, we'll take your MasterCard, Visa, and debit card, as long as those cards in your name and the registered bidder, all right? I think I covered the do's and the don'ts. If I forgot anything, I will remind you as we roll through here. And let's see, I think we're good to go. We're good to go? We are. All right, number one's an 01 models. Sorry, 01 Camry Solera. He said three get a quarter. But three get a quarter and a quarter here, three get a quarter, three get a quarter and a quarter, yes or no? But three get a quarter and we sold him on
300 and number 10.
300 divided by 10, right? 300 divided by 10, right? And here we go, number two's up. Here we go with the 14 now, will be 86. All right, guys, there it is. What are you going to do? Oh, it's coming. Someplace, maybe. There it is, hanging out there in outer space. All right, I've got 6, 6.5, and 7, no half, here, 5,800, not 50, not 50, 50, not 50 pounds an hour. And 1,000, no half, here, use 1,000 over here, how about 1,050, gonna go 50, 50, what about quarter and a half? How about a half, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 75, 1,100. 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, you know what I mean? And 75, we gotta go 75, 1175 pounds, $1,200. How about $1,200? Keep on, and a quarter. How about $1,200 and a quarter, 175, 13, gotta get 13 and a quarter. How about quarter? How about quarter and a half? How about a half? Come on, now, people, let's go. How about 1,315? Gotta go 15, no 75, 14, a quarter. And the quarter, 14, 25, what a half, go 75. How about 75? We gotta go 75. And now 15, we gotta go 15. What do you say? And 15, why is that? Man, countdown, keep increasing every week.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me
So the time, 1475.
let me refresh, sir. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let me refresh this side. So it should be 1475 online. I'm gonna hit that. 1475 online.
All right, we're gonna go to car number 3 now. This is the 08 Dodge Charger. Let's see what we got. 4-door automatic, straight to the limit. What's your pleasure? Hey, you're gonna get 5, 5.5. I got 5. You want 5? 5.5. 5.5. I got 5 here, 5.50. And a 15, a 50, 50, you got 5?
I got 5.
No quarter, no half. 5.5, 5.25, 5.5. And 15, you gotta go 50, 50, 550, 50, 75, say 600 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, 600, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, that's 75, you gotta go 75, 675. How about 75, 6.5 here, now 675, 7. How about seven, seven hundred and a quarter, and a quarter, I have seven over here, how about seven and a quarter? Quarter and a half, that's 75, it was 75, 775. How about 75 on the charger, 75 800, and eight and a quarter, 825, each money guys. How about 825, 825, 825, and we sold it. $800 for number eight, more the question number eight, number four is at 111, some on the card. All right, 400 minutes, figure it right down, this one goes wrong, they get what's your pleasure here. Hey, you get, okay, how much six of us, four and a half. I got a hand, no five, I gotta go five, use four and a half, I need five, 75, no five. I have five and a quarter here, five and a quarter. Five and a quarter, now half, 75, now six. How about six, now a quarter, six and a quarter. How about six and a quarter, 600 here, six and a quarter. How about six and a quarter, a quarter, now half, that's 75. How about 75, your turn. How about 675, 675, now seven, 700 and a quarter. I have seven and a quarter, how about seven and a quarter? Seven here, seven and a quarter, we sold a tank for 700, 700. And let's see, number seven is number five. There comes up on 16, hey, these numbers in the car. Oh, I'm calling from if we charge here now, and let's see here. Hey, you gotta give me time to sound. How about time to go? Six, seven, six and a half, seven, no half. How about a hundred, 50, 750, up, quarter, and 75, now we $800. How many bucks? How many, 800, and we're going to sell a tank. 775, number eight is my number six, 11 is some of the car. All right, now take it, what do you do here, 900? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, there it is. Good. Hey, check it out. $900. How about nine here? $900. How about nine here? Nine, five, three, 375, four. How about four? Not quarter. How about quarter and a quarter? Four and a quarter. How about four and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter and a half? Got a half. Each one a quarter here. 450. And let's just be okay. Now 75, 475, 500, give me five. How about something about 500 down, quarter, no hand, how about a half, right on side, how about a quarter? How about 550, you go 50 here now, 75, 75, how about a half? How about 575, you go 75, we sold the tank. 550, it's gonna go to number six, here, or seven. All right, again, there it is, what do you say here? Two and a quarter. How about two and a quarter? Two and a quarter here, half. I got half, no 75, it was 75, 275, 275, three. How about three here? They get another, three and a quarter. Quarter, now half. How about three and a half, three and a quarter, 350. How about 50, 50, okay, now 75, now 400, before. How about 400, now quarter here. I have quarter, now half. And a half, no 75, we gotta go 75, 475, 475, four and a half, 475, now five. How about five? 500, now five, you got five, you got five? I got 475 over here. Can nipples? See? And now quarter. I have five and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, we sell them over here. $500, $500. Little center, 2 minutes. 130 is my, right, thank you. All right, number eight comes in hey, guess what? Scraps on the rise, it's going up. Hey, you give me about 1,000. Well, how about five, six, seven? How about seven, 6, 7, here, recorded now high, 650, no, we sold it. At 625, it's gonna go. Six, right here, comes the nine, it's only 11. All right, give me about 1,000 here, $500, huh? Four? How about four? Got three and a half. I got 350, quarter and a half, and a half, three and a quarter, 3.5, why not? How about we get it up 50, 50, and at 50, it's like a color, I guess, so 3 1/4, number 6, right, here's number 10. Here comes the number 6, hey, we got a 4 focus card. All right, there it is, what are you gonna say here? We're gonna give you this.
I got 375.
I got 375, 4, not quarter. And a quarter, I got 4 here on site, 4 1/4. How about 4 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we have silver tank. That's $400, no problem, number 8. And we're loving it, we love it, yes. Now, let's see here, what's wrong with that one? Trigger on it, they give all the time, they once a month too. They bring it a half now half. At a half, here, quarter, no half, over here, 75, gotta go 475. How about 475, $500, no quarter. How about 5 1/4, 5 1/4, beat a half, they don't 75, gotta go 575. How about 75, how about have over here, 75, 600. How about 600, 600, what it is, 600, 600, here we have solar. For 575, number 6 is, number 12, 15, now to 6. All right, then, Dave, what are you gonna say here? Let's see. Hey, quarter, 100, do you go fix that, that's easy.
6 1/4.
I got 6, 6 1/4, 6.5, 75. How about 75? 6.5 here. 675? How about 675? I'm gonna go 675, 675, 75. Here now, 7, not quarter. 7 1/4, we will reconcile at 7. How about 7 1/4, 7 1/4, get it out. How about 7 1/4, quarter, now half, how about 75? How about 75? How about 775? How about 775? No, so that's 750. Put them on number 4. Our 4, 7. Number 13 is on the ticket card. All right, guys, say it number up. Wow. Over, 3 1/4, what do you say? You got 2? 2 1/4, you got a quarter and a half. How about a half? How about a half? I have 2 1/4. 250, you know, we sold the tank. 225, number 6 is the line. Here's 2014. I've already found it. I've already found it. Here we go. Hey, Jenny Cooper. How about have 6? How about 6? 75, 6, now a quarter. And a quarter, no half, 6 1/2. 75, 7, and a quarter, and a half, 7 1/2. And a half, so if I eat 800 and a quarter, he said that 8 and a quarter, 8 and a half, 875, 9 and a quarter, and 25, 9 here, a quarter, half, 875, 975, 975, now 1,000, now a quarter, now a half, 875, now 1100, and a quarter, half on mine, now 75 and 12, and 12 and a half, and 13, now half, and 14, ready to go 14, now half, 14, 50, 15. How about 15? No, half, 16. Well, and you done 16? 17 and a half, 18. I got 18 and a half. I got 18, you got 18. Come on. You got a half. 19? How about 19? You guys are all off.
19.
19 and a half. How about a half? 19 on line. 19 out of the 15, you're out. 19 and a half on 2. How about I do? I got 2, 19 and a half over here. I got 2 grand on 1 and a half and 1. How about 21? 20, 15 of that row. How about 21 of that? 21, now half online, now 2, 22. See, you guys talk to each other, you miss your turn, 22, 22 and a half, 22 and a half, I got 22 online.
22 and a half.
22 and a half, 23, so you still miss your turn, 23. I got 23 and a half, 23 is here, 23, how about 50, 24? How about 24? You gotta get 24 now, half of the time, 29 is better. How about 25? Well, it needs that, 25, half and a half. 25 and a half, 6. How about 6? You gotta go 6, 26, what do you say? 6, half, 7. Number 27. How about 27? Hey, keep going. How about 27 here now? Now, 800 and now 28, 26, 8 now, 28, 50. And the 50, 15, gonna go 15, the 15, the 50, 50, and we over 10. $2,800 online, okay? 16, 14, 73. And maybe about 1,000. $500. $500. He said, three, you take it forward, take it a half, 75. How about 75, 400, 75, 500. How about five? Money's holding 75, I'll take five. You want five? How about five here, also, okay? 75, number 16. Here, number 16, sorry. All right, 800. How about the, how about four? How about five? I did have four, I need five, no six. How about six? How about a half? Six. How about six? Six and a half. How about six and a quarter? Six and a half. Six and a 50. Six and equals, six equals. How about six? I don't talk to him, just get 650, 650, 75. Now it's seven. How about seven? One quarter, one and a half. How about a half? 75, eight, $800. Now eight, one quarter. And a quarter. He's over here. 825, eight and a half. 850, 875. How about 875, 875, 875, 875? Here we have, sorry, 850, 850. The other side. 69, 69 or 64. So 69? Okay. 69 about. All right, here we go, number 17. Hold on. See, hey, take this one. Wow, that's not right. Here we go. Salvage title, hey, you're gonna get 500. Who said 275, three? How about three here? The extra card is three. I've got three, so the 10, 275, number six, six is five, number 18, all three, 10. It's a super deep. Here's what we're gonna do here. We got five, cards. How about four, that's, three, four, no five. I got four, five. How about a half, no five. How about five? I have four and a half over here. I need five, I do. And five, you're gonna go five, gonna go five, 75, not five, not quarter. And a quarter, hey, we're on site at five a quarter. A quarter, not half, five and a half, 75. How about 75? How about I have over here? How about 575, no six, not quarter. On site again with six, six and a quarter. How about six and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, six and a quarter here, we have overtime for 600, number eight, my area. 07 on the fourth. I am 305. Let me see. How about they have about, I've got two, two and a quarter half, three and a quarter half. I got a half 75, I go 75, no four. How about four and a quarter? And a quarter, he's in the four and a quarter, five, 500. I got five and a quarter. And a half, 75, I'm gonna go 75, 600. I got six and a quarter, 625. And one and a half, how about 650, six and a quarter? How about 650, 15, and 75, I'm gonna go 675. 675, 675, 675, here we go, we sold a tank. 650. And here we go, number five, 99. 20,000. How about we go? Three and a quarter. I got five, it's even better, five and a quarter. The nickel's really cheap. See? At a half. At a half, here, 50, 50, 50. How many quarters over here? How about 50, got a half, 75, no problem. How about 75, we're gonna go 70 for 75, here, 70 for 75, here, we have. So, okay, yes, sir. 50, for eight is one. He, no, four. How about four? Five, that's better. Five and a half, 75. How about 75? I'm gonna go for 75. Mine's five and a half. How about 75? I'm gonna go 75. We sold the 10. 50. Here we go. A week. All right, John, green over, guys. There it is. There you get about 900. How about 9 $5? Yeah, 5.5, 6. How about 6? Are you ready? 6? No half. How about a half? He's in at 6. 6.5 and 7. No half. 7.5, 8. 8.5. And 9.5. Of a thousand. 8,000. No half. No half. 11.5. 11.5. 12. How about 10 there? 12. No ghost. No half. I got a half and 13. Here we go, 13, no half, 13 and 50. And 14 and a half, 15, 15 and a half, 16, 16. How about 16? 15 and a half some money. How about 16? Got 16 and a half and 17. 16 and 17 and a half. How about half? We're online with 17. 17 and a half, we're going to go off. How about 17.50? We sold a 10. 1,700 online, okay, thank you. All right, here we go, number 23, and over 7 GMC, all right, hot guys. $80 a piece right there now, believe I know what about. How about 9, 5, 6. I got 7, 7.25, 7.5. Said it's about number 75. 75 each, and a quarter, and a half. 75, now 9, now quarter, now half. 75, 1,000, now half. And 11, 11.5, and 12, 12.5, and 13.5, and 14.5, and 15.5, and 16.5, 16.5, and 17.5, 18. How about 18, 18.5, 19.5, 2 grand, regular 2, and a half, and 1, now half, only 1.5, another 2. 22, 2.5, 3, now half, now 4, now half, and 5, and a half, and 6, and a half, and 7.5, and 27.5, 8.5, and 9. We got 9, now half, 3 grand. 3 grand, we gotta get 3 on site, 29.5 right there, 3 grand. Steve, got that 3 grand, 31, 32, 32, 32, 33, 34. How about 34, 34 online, 35, 36, 37, 37. I got 36 back there. How about 37, we're gonna go 7, we're gonna go 7, 700, and I sold it. Sold it. At 3,700, let's see, which number that? 103. I do, 37, 103. 103. Uh-huh. Okay, here we go, guys. Here's 24. There's a 97. There it is. Somebody got about 800. How about 800? We said 3, 4, 5. Now 6. How about half and 6? How about 6? 75 will work. Now 6. Now 4. No. I got 575. Need 6. How about 6? What are we 6? 606. Now 4. Now quarter. He's in at 6 over here. 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter here? The solar panel right there. For $600. And you remember them, right? Yeah, 127, 127, okay. Yeah, 46, so you're the matrix, huh? All right, time, guys, somebody get 500. He said 4, 4 and a quarter, 4.5. 4.5, 75, not quarter. How about quarter? That's the time, sorry. How about 5 and a quarter? And we're 5 and a quarter and a quarter, you know, 5.50. And we're 50, 50, 75, we're gonna go 75, how about a half over here, 5.75. How about 75, 600, how about 6 and a quarter? How about 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 over here, guys. How about 6 and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter down here, 9, 1, 2, 7, quarter, half. 75. How about 75? Yes, sir. Come on, now people, let's go. How about 675? We go 75 and now 7. You should make an lead. 7? Not quarter? I got 7 on the side. 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter? How about 7 and a quarter? 7.5. 7.5. 75. How about, I do, 7.5 on side. 75. 7.75. We're going to get the neck first. So here. 775. There it is. 800. 8 and a quarter. I got 8. 8 and a quarter. How about a quarter? 825. How about 825? 825 and we sold on the site at 100. What's another again? 130, 130 tomorrow, there we go. Okay, check on 99, clear out, on. All right, solid paper, title down, take it, we're gonna do here, 800, we said, crazy, take it a half four. 175, that'll work, now four. How about four, 400, here's the four, what do you say, $400, we sold it, then, 375, hundred. All right, here's 27, the deal. All right, now, they're gonna get 800. We'll take the 800. $400, you want four? Three, quarter, three quarter, half. How about, I've got three quarter. How about 350, 50, 350, 350, 50, 350, and I sold it at 325, but I'm on the 400, over here, number 28, now it's 300. Hey, 300, we got a bunch of that. $400, $400. How about three get a quarter, 325, we're gonna get 25, 375. How about 375, we straight and a half, 375, 375. So we sold it, then, 350, divided by six, right? Third, all right, there we go. All right, here's the Ford Ranger, that is old model. And what are you gonna do on that one? They're gonna give me about 500. I've got 475, 500 down here, I'm gonna go down here, and some of that. 475, number 60 is in my area, number 30. Okay, all right, here we go again. Here's the so. All right, guys, somebody give about 800, things like that. You said three. Got four and a quarter. Four and a half, 475. How about 75? 500. And now a quarter, back only five, he's in the five, half a quarter. Quarter, okay, now half, that's 75. How about 75, back on site, how about half, 575. Number of spheres, just a small stretch. 575, 75, so the 550, bottom on eight, higher, right? 31, 06. That's fine. Then, let's see here. Hey, there it is. Where they have about, we said three, they have over, 4.5, 5.5, let's say 6.5, let's say 7.5. He's not doing it, I got seven over here. How about 7.5, there, a quarter, how about 7.25, no 75. How about 75, it's, like 7.5. How about 7.75, 75, and I sold it, kind of, it's already gone, sold it right there. 750. Six, seven, six, 164. Right. Here's an old three. He's in now 320 guys, give me time to shine. How about time to go, you gotta go 500, five, I like over 5.5. 75, you gotta go 75. How about 575 on the bench, only 75. How about 75, 600, 575 in the corner. 575, 600. Six, not quarter, 6.25, hey, we got, how about 6.25 and a quarter and a half, hey, 50, 50, 650, 6.25. How about 650, you gotta go 50, 50, 50, and we have summertime. Or 625 online, 625 online, maybe we got number 33 on the seven. It's a lot. Here it is, what am I gonna say here? Not four? Four, here, four, three, three, a quarter. Six, 6.5, seven. How about 7, 6.75, now seven. How about seven? Only 6.75, seven, a quarter. How about 7.25, here, he's a quarter, guys. How about 7.25, how about 7.25, three quarter, 7.50, now 75. How about 75, come on now, before we go. 775, it was 75, 800, not quarter, 825. See, this is the key every time. 825, how about 825, 825, and we sold it at 800 on 900, here we go. All right, then you're gonna get 600, 6 2, 3, we're gonna have 4.
Yeah, I have that.
You got a half, okay, 75. How about 75 and 4? How about 4? You're gonna get 400, 375 here for not quarter. Quarter guys, I have 4, need a quarter. That quarter, forward 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, and 75, you're gonna go 75, forward 75. How about 475, 475, and we, oh, okay. 450 on, all right, work, here we got another. 125 of the two cars here. 2 grand. I got you to go. 11 and a half and pound, 2 grand. 21. 21, 2. 22. Should have got 3 half. 21 and a half and not 2. How about 22 no half? Now 3, 23, now half, now 4, now half, and 5. And a half, and 6, 26, 26 and a half. And 27, 37, and a half, and 8, and a half, and a half. And a half, 3 grand, we got 3 grand, 31, 32. How about 32? It's 100 on the football table now. 32. He's 31, 32, and we have 32, 32 here, 33, 4. How about 4, 33, 4? How about 34? We're gonna go 4. I do. So okay. At 3,300, we'll put them on. 36, 4 miles. Have a good time. And you get out there. I got 60 to the water. I'm about to get a quarter half. We're gonna have. He's not good. I got 3 quarters. We got that 250. We got that 75 quarter. I'm a quarter for 25. Quarter here. You got quarter. I'm half. 75. I'm about 75. They got 475. 475. What do you say? I'm about 75. So the thing at 450. Higher, right? Albert. Down here it is. Somebody gets $600, $300, 3 quarters. How much they get a quarter? 3 is over here. How much they get a quarter? How much they get a quarter? Quarter, okay. They get a quarter, 50. And 50, 50, you're gonna go 50 and on the solid time. 3, 4, 5, number 6. 38, 70, hey, we're gonna go down, side title here. And see here, hanging about 500. Okay, fine, this is part here, you know. $5, 2 to go down, 75, not 3. 82, 75, 3, not 4, no half. How about the 75, no 400, no quarter, no half. And the 75, no 5, 505. How about 5, on sale of 475, 5. How about 5, a quarter, no half. How about half, right outside, how about a quarter. How about 50, you gotta go 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 9. So the thing, number 5, 25, number 5, here's number 39, and on the 87, table guys, 800. Well, he says 4, you want 4?
375.
Got it, 4 and a quarter. How about 4 and a quarter, and a quarter here, need a quarter, he's in the 4. How about 4 and a quarter, now, and here, 75, we're gonna go 475. How about 75, 4 and a half over here. How about 475, okay, now 5 and a quarter, on the share, need a quarter, half a quarter. How about quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, now, 75, we're gonna go 575, what do you say? How about 75? 75, now 600 and a quarter. How about quarter? Hey, we're on side at 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter here, quarter and a half, now 75. How about 75? Come on, people, let's go. How about 675? We're gonna go 75. Solar tank for 6.5, number 8. Right, here we go. All right, done. Hey, let's see here. Even better for the half. we're gonna have, but it's what, not 75. But 75, we're gonna have here, 75 for 400 and a quarter. And a quarter and a quarter here, quarters over here, 4 and a quarter. About 4 and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter, now half. And a half, 4 and a quarter up here. About 450 and a 50 and a 50 and so on. Then 425 and we're 62. Here's number 41, over 3. Maybe let's see there. Okay, I have to leave about 400 bucks. He says 2 and a quarter. How about 2 and a quarter? 2 here, quarter, half, 75, 39, quarters and a half. And a half and 75 here, 4. Outside at 375, 4. How about 400, 400, okay, and a quarter, and a quarter. I got 4, hey, look at me, don't look at your phone. Go on the corner, a quarter, and a half. See, you can look at your phone, you gotta look at your phone. 4 and a half. How about 450, 50, 4 and a quarter, 450, and a 50, 50, 50, 75. 475, 5. How about 500? How about 500? 500, you're gonna go 5 down, quarter, here, you're up. 5 and a quarter, I got quarter half. How about half? You start with a quarter, 550, you're gonna go 50, 50, and 55, 50, 50, 75. How about 75? How about 75? And now 6. How about 6? 600, 575 on site. How about 600? 600, you're gonna go 600, 600, and 9. So we're done. 4, 5, 75. 1, 2, 4, 124. Here comes the 13. 4, okay? Are you gonna get much? Okay. Yeah, it's a little index.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Got 4 and a half. 5 and a half. 5 and a quarter, and a half. 75, 6. How about 6? 600? How about 6? 5, 75, 6. 3 and a quarter, and a half. 75, 7. How about 7 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half, 75. 75, 8 and a quarter, and a half. 8 and a half. And now you're 75, 9, 100. How about 9? 9 here, 8 and a quarter, now a half. How about a half? 950, 975, 1,000. And 1,000. And 1,000. And 1,000 to go. 975 and 1,000. And we, not quarter, not half. Not a half. How about a half? Come on, people, I got 10 quarters on side. Got a half, 75. 1,075, 75, 11. How much 11? 11. 10, 75 on site. And 11, go 11, 11. What do you say? 11 and a quarter. A quarter, 11's up here, 11 and a quarter. How about 11 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here? We sold quarter. Yes, I got a quarter right there. And a half. How about a half? 11 and 50. And now 75, 75, 12. How about 12? That means 75 here. I need 12, and a quarter. And a quarter, and a half. How about 12 and a half? We need half. 12 and a half. What do you say? And 75. I'm gonna go 75. I got 12 and a half here. How about 175? I'm gonna go 75. Sunday. At 50 on 43, 12, 20, 12, what's under side? I'm gonna do 1,000. Maybe 1,000 to go. I should have. 3, 4. How about 4? How about 4? Okay, give me half that. 3 and a half. I got 350 quarter, not half. And a half. 3 and a half. 3 and a half. What do you say? And now 75. I'm gonna go 75. I'm gonna say 3 and a half. 30, 75, 4 and a quarter, and a quarter. Where is each 4? There we go. I got 4, 4 and a quarter. Now I have 75, 5. How about 5 and a quarter, and a quarter? 5 and a quarter. How about 5 and a quarter, and a quarter? Here, need a quarter. What do you say? 4 and a half. 50. And a 50, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, guys. How about half? Now 75. I'm gonna go 75. By 75. But 75. I'm gonna go 75. 6, 600. How about 6? You got should like oh 1. 6, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter? How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter here, 6 and a quarter? Need a half. A half, 75. There you go. How about 675? I'm gonna go 675. No, so that's 650 on line 6. Okay, fine. Here we go. The next one. Now we got 600. You want to six. I have 3. 2 and a quarter. Half. 75, 3. Go 3. Your turn. 3. How about 32, 75, 3, gonna go 300, 300, and a quarter and a half. And a half, each figure a quarter, figure a half, 75, now 4. How about 400, down, four and a half, and that's 75. How about 75, 475, 4.5 outside. How about 475, 475, 475, and I, some of them, 450 miles, 50 miles, and 154, 34. I get number 45, 99. And I get 500. I get 500. And he'll get 5, 2, 2.5, take 3. How about 75? Gotta get 275? No, it's only 10. 350 for a moment. 6, and smarter. 5, 4. All right, guys, maybe you get 600. About 3 quarter. How about 3 quarters? 5, just say a quarter, half. I got a hand here, 50, 50 now, 75, 375, 30, 75, 4. How much for today? 4, and a half, and a half, and look over back here, and a half, 75, 475, 475, now 5, you got 475? 5, how about a quarter? I got 2 nickels, a quarter, half. How about a half? That's 75. How about 75? How about half, so say it, 75. You gotta be 75, no 6? I do. And 6, down 40, 625, up here at 6, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter here, so my line. 600, okay? 647, here we go. Hey, let's see here. Here it is, hey, run, shoot, check it out. Hey, give me what, 600. How about 6 to the bucks? I have 4. 4 and a quarter. And 6 and a half, and 7 and a half, and 8 and a half, and 9 and a half, and 1,000, and 1,000, 975. That's 75. All right, now 1,000 and a quarter. I'm a quarter, each in your 10. I'm a 10 and a quarter. That's what's in now. I'm a 10 and a quarter, okay, now I'm 75. How about 75, 1,075, 1,050 over here. How about 1,075, I gotta go 75, 75, we sold the thing. 1,050 to number 8, 1,050 divided by number 88 is only 17. All right. There it is, pretty big. Already fine, give me about 800. It's even better, 24, 4.5, 5. How about 25? I have 25, I gotta go 5, nope, so, it's already gone. All right, we got 5 guys going, I got 25, 5.5, 6.5, and 7.5, 27.5 right here. Look at me, that's the point, okay? 27.5, 28, now a half, another 9. I got 29, that's the problem, because what's going on here. I got 8, I got 29. 29,
You got 29, right?
I got a half, 3 grand, and a half, 32, 33, 34. I'm another poker table now. 33 is here, 34, 34. You're up. So you're 34, 35, 35, 36, 36, 35 over here. How about 36, 36, 70, 38, 37 up here, 38. How about 38? You guys are all off again. How about 38? No, 8, 9. How about 9? He's 38, 39. You guys think like that, internet people, old ladies. 38, 39, 39, you're gonna go 9, no? Sober time on site. Yeah, 3,800 dollars in new shoes and new boots. Okay.
What's the number?
96 about it, 96. Now, see what happens when you're watching your phone instead of watching me, and watching what's going on? All right, here we got number 49. We're on the Cadillac Escalade. So, which time we got? So you're giving me about 2 grand. I got 1,000, 12, here, 13, 13, 12, 13, quarter. How about 12 and a quarter here, no, so the 10. Yeah, 1,200 online for 1,200 here. 95, Chevy, C, 35, 3 miles. All right, $30 for the key card here, guys. All right, now we're gonna throw in some racks. Check it out. How about $900? They said, pound and a half. I got a quarter half. 50, I'm gonna go 50, 50, 10, 50, what did you say? And a hundred, pound and a half, so, ten. Pound and a quarter, number 16, 51. 51 is an old seven. $50 each on. Pay them. He said, three years, take it a quarter. I'm not taking a quarter, 300, 3 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, half, 75. And now five, I got it, not quarter, now half, and a half, and now 75, six, and a quarter, one side is six and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, where I'm going to, Summertime, for 600, come on, number, eight. Here we go, with number 5. Okay. Hey, here we go, so it will be 100. Three and a quarter. A quarter half, 4.5, 5, 5, and a half. I'm a pound and a half. Each side here, pound and a half, quarter. I'm a pound and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter half. I got pound and a quarter here, 50, gonna go 50, 50, 50, guys. We have a pound and a half of these, and they come 6. How about 6? How about 6? Now quarter. And a half. How about 600 here, 15, gonna go 50, 50, 650, what do you say? 75, 7. How about 7, gonna go 7, gonna go 7, what do you turn? How about 7, gonna go 7 here, 9, 1, 2. 675, number 4, right? Here we go with number 3. Here we go, somebody get 5, pound of bucks. Okay, fine, I said about 4. I got 2 and 4. I'm quarter half, 2.5, what do you say? How about 250, 2 and 4 here, 250. 250, silver 23.5, number 6. Here we go with number 54, 150. Hey, over 50 here. $800 on that one. Or he said, I got 8, that's even better, 8.5. How about the 50 here, give me 4. A quarter, be 25, and we sold the 10.
800 number 10.
800, number 10 is, here's number 55, oh 5, you got a Prius card. All right, guys, give me 1,000, Prius. How about 10, that's right. How about $100? Okay, I got time here. I got 3, 3 and a quarter. A quarter, need a quarter, and a quarter cup. Provisions equals 1. And that's a 50, 4 and a quarter. I got 450 in the 50 and the silver 10. That's 425. Number 56. All right, so I'm just going to negative. Which one? 6? 1,000, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, give me half, 17 and a half, you're 17, 17 and a half, 7, you're 17, I'm going to say 18, that's 17 there, 1,750 silver truck, for 1,700. Number again is number 69. 1,757. Is that whole car? Please have that. But over there, the new car, CPS now. They're gonna give me 1,000. Well, how about $500? How about $500? 3 and a half, I'll take 4. 75, 55, now 4. 4, now 4. And over here, 100 here, 50, 50, 50, 75, we're gonna go 475, who's 4.5. 75, that's 5, 500, and 5, 475, 500. I'm about 5 here, so 10. 475, number 6 there, right? That's the catch. Number, let's see here, let's see. Okay. There we go, here's number 58. Hey, you get 500. three and a quarter, half a 75, four and a half, and five, and a half, and six and a half, and seven, half a 7.5, and 8.5, and nine and a half, what is it? And 1,000, and then a half, over a half, and then 11, and then a half, 11 and a half, and then a quarter. And a quarter and a half, 11.50, 75, 11.75, 75, 11.5, 75, 12, a quarter, and a quarter, 12 is over here, a quarter and a half, 75, and 13 and a quarter, and a half, 13 half, 75, I'm gonna go 75, and 14 and a quarter, and a half, and 75, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, and a half, we're in half now, 16 and a half, 8 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17 there, 17 and a half, 17 out of 50, 18. I'm on 18, 18, we're gonna go 18, 18 down here, this one, oh, and we have 18 and a half. I can't take 25, it's gotta go half, 19. How about 19, money's 18 and a half, 19. How about 19, there we go 19, then I'm on the south side for 18, 50, 18, 50. So what's your number tonight, do I remember? Or 94, just one minute. I guess under 59, all 9 here. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Who got a 1,000? This is how we call it. 7, 8. How about they get up? 7 quarter here and a half, 1 9, so we go 900 and a half. How about 9 and a half? 9 here. Yeah, a quarter, half. How about a half? 150, 75. We gotta go 75. And 75 and a 1,000. And a 1,000. These 9 75. Take a 1,000. And a 1,000. One time we go, and we're going to the quarter. No quarter, I got 10, quarter, half, 75. How about 75? Here goes there's an option. 75 left. How about 11, especially when you sit right next to each other? 11 a quarter. How about 11 a quarter? I got 11 here, quarter, half, 75. How about 75? 11 and a half, 11.75. 11.75, 75, and we sold it. 11.50, we'll put them on number 8. See, here comes the 24, minus a 3. Every time somebody get found about 600. Over half, 350, 75. How about 75, 400? Gotta go 4? How about 400? Get 4, we gotta go 4, we gotta go 400 right here in that quarter and a half. 4.5. 450, now 75, and 5, and a quarter. How about a quarter? 5, so we're here. How about 5 and a quarter? Keystone. 5 and a quarter. Are you guys ready? I can't hear what you guys are doing. 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, 75. How about 75, or 75, or 75, here, we're going to 75, 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, 6 over here.
Quarter online.
And a quarter online first, about half, 175, 679, 675, 6 and a half over here. I got 75, 7. How about 7 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, 7's over here. How about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, half, see here, so it's on in big city. I got a quarter right here. No 75. 7.75. So you said that last time, huh? 7.75. Now 8, not quarter, and a quarter, and I got 8 over here. 8.25. How about 8.25? We're going to start over there at 800 down from number 4. Number 4 here is 215. Here's an 05. And it's okay? Now you're going to give me about 500. That will be. Come on, straight. That's even better. 5 and a half. I got 5 and a half. I got 5 here. Quarter and a half. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. 75, 6, not quarter. And a quarter, not half. 6 and a half. 6 and a quarter. Online. 6 and a half. 75. How about 75, 7? 700. Your turn. How about 7? 6, 75, 7. I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna go 7 here. No quarter. A quarter. The old lady jumped in. I got 7, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, then we use 700 online, right? 3 on 7 here. Are you gonna get that? 700 online, 700. 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 700 online, 7 You said two. I'm up to the quarter. I'm gonna keep it to the quarter. I'm up to the quarter, and a hundred, 50, 250, what do you say? How about you, how about the 50, and we, okay. Well, keep on the five, let's call on number six, all right, here's number six, all three, seven, hey, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna go get. That's okay. I'm gonna go with, seven and a half, seven, eight and a half, and nine, and a half, and a thousand, and a half, and 11, got a half, 11, now half. I got all 11 here, 11 a quarter, I'm 11 a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, now half. That's 75. How about 75? 11 a half here, 11, 75, 75. How about 75, and I overtime, 1150, 1150, which number? 100, right? Here, 64, 06, right there. So you can get my friend a hey, Victor Taylor. All right, give me $5. How about five, two and a half, big three. How about three, 275, and three, and a quarter, and a half, and 50, so you quarter, three and a half. How about 350, and 50, and 50, and I'm going to half 75. No, four. How about four? 375 on site. Four? How about 400, 400, 400, 400, and now a quarter. A quarter, four is here, need a quarter. What do you say? How about 450, and a quarter to nine? So, that's 400 online. Here's under 65. There's another three, four, that's 150. We look to the shut down, 900. $5. Five and a half. How about five and a half? He's fine. Five and a half. Quarter, now half. That's 75. How about 75 cents? 600, and a quarter, 625, and a half. How about a half? And now 75, no seven. How about seven? Seven here, seven gets six. And seven, here goes seven, seven and a quarter, seven and a quarter, seven and a half. Now, so this one E, 800, 800 and a quarter, quarter and a half, eight and a half, eight and a half, nine and a half, nine and a half, and now 1,000, and now a half, how about a half, this one. How about 15, and 50, I don't see it. How about 10 and a half, here, you say about a half, 11, and a half, see, a cookie. How about that? Give me 11, now half, now 12, and a half. And 13. Oh, come on, man. 13. Four and a half. 13. 13. You gotta get 13. 13. And I have silver tank. 12. 50. Number four divided. See, soon to lose. Oh, man. Here's number 66. This one's a 20, 10, 70, 85. How about time to go where? Three and a quarter, three and a half. These are the three and a quarter, 350, give me half. What is it, that's 75. How about 75, and total, 400 and a quarter, and a quarter there, and a half. Four and a half, 75, and five, you gotta go five, and five, and a quarter, five here, five and a quarter, half. How about a half? Each five and a quarter here, and a half on line, and that's 75, right? That's 75, it's your turn. 575, 75, and I can't tell what you're doing. 575, 6. I do. How about 6? He's 575, 6. 6, not quarter, you turn it down. 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, he's saying, oh, I'm saying so. That's 600 to number 6, right? Hey guys, thanks for being with us tonight. Don't forget, pay your bills, get your phones out. And come back next Thursday, because we're gonna do this all over again, okay? Thank you very much.
Yo me llevé la blanca también, la F-150. ¿Sí va?
¿Qué número se fue? ¿Cuál número la? ¿Cuál número? La 150 la Ford, 2003.
¿605?
Sí.
¿Perfecto?
Ajá. ¿Sí va?
No, me envió 250.
Al número 4. No te ustedes.
No, it wasn't a bumper. Hold on, let me. Yeah, there's one bumper.